Let's get that music going. There we go. How we all doing, folks? Happy Memorial Day weekend for those of you celebrating. My name is Shane Carlson, and this is my secondary channel, Aromatically Speaking. It's a channel, this is a show, that I call Smell It Sunday, where I go live every so often on Sundays. Not so much now than we have in the past, but we're live today, and I have lots of fun stuff to talk about. We're going to be doing some candle unboxing. We're going to be drinking some coffee. Let's turn down that music, because let's face it, we don't need that music. Like I said, it is Memorial Day weekend. I want to welcome everyone who is joining in today. First thing is, we got to pull you guys up. You know how it works. Pull you guys up. Since this is a live stream, you guys can join in on the chat. Ask any questions that you might have regarding what I'm showing you, about anything at all. And check out my mug today. Why does it look like that? Hold on. There we go. Look at this mug. I've been getting a lot of requests since I've mentioned that I want to produce a video of me going out to the Pacific Northwest and doing my own sort of documentary slash vlog on Bigfoot. And this was a gift from a dear friend, one of you guys. And I think this is confirmation that I think you guys really want me to do this. So I have to start planning that. It'll certainly be fun. I got to do a lot of research because I know nothing about Bigfoot. I really don't know much at all. So I want to jump right in it today. I see you guys right here. I want to welcome you guys as you trickle in. Recently, I reached out to a company called BackYard Candles. This company was introduced to me by one of the moderators, Lauren, from the Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan group. And she's been enjoying the products. She met the proprietors, so I reached out to them and I said, hey, look, I would love to highlight some of your products on my live stream. The kind folks sent me a box. I have no idea what is in the box, but we're going to open it up. We're going to unbox it, take a look, see what there is. I'm going to give them a sniff. We're going to be doing this cold. We're not going to be lighting any candles. I'm going to be smelling these candles, and I'm going to be giving you my initial impressions, my sensory evaluation, and we'll take it from there because we have a table full of stuff, including other things to unbox. Alright, how do I sound? How do I look? Everything look good? Washington Wicks. Nikki is, of course, from Washington State. And she's got a wonderful candle called Sasquatch, right? It's Sasquatch. And yeah, I think that was what really gave me the initial idea. Okay, so BackYard Candles. Now you can find BackYard Candles on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook. And I will list in the description below how you can purchase any of these products or reach out to this company, browse and explore. But this will give you a first look if you've never heard about the company. They are a small batch candle company. First thing in the box, we have a postcard. Very nice artwork here. We have a snowy forest. Candles handmade in Connecticut. So Connecticut-based candle company. Thank you for your purchase. Well, these were gifted to me, so thank you, BackYard Candles, for sending them my way. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram at BackYard Candles. Again, I'll put everything in the description below. Something to know about these candles: all natural soy wax, beeswax, coconut wax, wood wicks, and lead-free cotton wicks. Phthalate-free fragrance oils and pure essential oils. So not just fragrance oils, essential oils. Again, essential oils are derived from the actual thing, where fragrance oils are essentially made in the lab, right? So pure essential oils, hand poured in small batches. And if you have any questions, you can also email Justin at BackYardCandles.com or visit their website, BackYardCandles.com. All right. This is exciting. It's always a little bit nervous when I have no idea what I'm about to get into. Their business card. I love this artwork. That must be Justin placing the label on the candle. I wonder if Justin is the solo gentleman behind the candles. Oh man, he sent a lot. Hi Shane, I'm very excited to see what you think. Enjoy, Justin. And he has a list of everything he sent. I will try to evaluate as much as I can, but I will certainly show you everything in here. Looks like we have some melt wax, soy wax melts, and some candles. South Windsor, Connecticut. I love Connecticut. You know, I don't spend nearly as much time in Connecticut as I should. I see everybody. And we have Frenny Francis. Am I pronouncing that correct? I don't think we have been acquainted. I always notice the new faces. And hello to everyone from Bavaria. Holy moly. Well, welcome, Frenny. He joined on a good day. Whoa, boy. This is intense. All right. So, packing peanuts. You know how this works. This gives me stuff to do after I finish the live. Clean up the mess I'm making. So we have some wax melts. Woo! This box is highly aromatic. We have some mason jars. But honestly, probably the thing that I'm most intrigued by right away. See, this isn't like a mermaid bra. These are coconuts. Do we see that? These are coconut... What do we call these? Coconut shells? I don't know. But I'm guessing this is the coconut wax. All right. So, and they're wrapped in cellophane. We have... Let's do this one first. This is really cool. This is fun stuff. I'm telling you. It's the little things like this that make seeing new candles fun, different kinds of formats. I'm always thinking about what other kinds of formats can we see candles in. Well, why not put it in a coconut as long as they're using coconut wax? This one is bamboo and coconut, 4.5 ounces, 20 hours of burn time, hand poured in New England. You know, I hate to open this up completely because I don't plan on burning this right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice this cellophane just a little bit. So this way I can get my nose right in there. Get a good sniff. Woo! Now, bamboo, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I know what bamboo smells like. I wasn't aware that it had an aroma, or what part of the bamboo has an aroma. Does anybody know? This is a really, really interesting smell. I'm telling you right now that this is all about the summer, or it's still spring, but perfect for a weekend like this weekend. And I'll tell you why. To me, this falls right into the category of kitchen candle. This is something that I would burn in my kitchen, especially during late spring and the summer. It's refreshing. It has, those fresh herb smells. If you have your little herb plants on the windows. A little bit of green bell pepper. Yeah, and trust me, that's not a bad thing. And when it comes to the coconut, I should talk about the coconut right away. We have a really big, refreshing pina colada kind of coconut. Coconut milk, or not coconut milk, coconut cream that is infused with pineapple juice. So not just that coconut smell like the coconut that you use in your shampoo. This is going to have that bright, really tropical, tart malic acid and citric acid of that really, really ripe pineapple fruit. And there's some spice in here. And I want to be careful here because I don't want to make this sound in any way like this is a bad thing, because it's a lovely thing. But there is like this pickled pepper brininess to this. A little bit of like a cracked black pepper, a little bit of spice, but there definitely is that smell of that brine that you would pickle anything in. But because I'm getting that green bell pepper and the herbs, I'm thinking of pickled peppers, and that is heavily contrasted with the sweet and the bright tart coconut and pineapple. This is great. I'm telling you, I like it right away. This is not a low intensity candle either. This is definitely a medium plus candle. Although it is only 4.5 ounces, we see that the diameter of this candle is quite big. So I think perfect size for your kitchen, and would easily fill up your kitchen, unless you have like some crazy monstrous kitchen. Or if you don't want to burn this in the kitchen, that's fine. That's fine. Bring it into the living room, have a pina colada, have a salad, something with pesto, to really enhance that culinary experience by burning this candle. First, a great way to start this unboxing: BackYard Candles, bamboo and coconut. And as far as, again, I gotta put that in my list of things to look up. Bamboo. What is it about the bamboo that has aroma? Is it a woody thing? Is it more of a green note? Herbal note? Is it more of a tropical grass note? I don't know. I'm kind of stumped at the moment. Let's keep this going. So organic. I love it, says Lou. Yes, it definitely smells natural, It smells like, you just came home with a bunch of ingredients from a market. And, I wonder if this is the coconut wax. It doesn't say. Let's just show you this. It Same thing. We have the coconut shell. This one, black raspberry. Black raspberry. I love this. Black raspberry vanilla. Now, black raspberry is an interesting thing. I've said black raspberry like 17 times already. Because, when we're kids, or I don't know, we're all kids at heart. You go get a slush puppy, or you remember when you used to do stuff like that, or Jolly Ranchers and Airheads, all those sour tart candies. There's always that flavor, black or blue raspberry. But it actually is a real thing. Wow. I'm really not milking this, folks. This really is a strong 2 for 2 so far. So I'm definitely getting that berry bramble. So, it's the time of the year, or it will be soon. You go into the grocery store, you'll find the blueberries, the strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. And the other day, I was in the grocery store and I saw something that I usually don't see in the area that I live in. And it's one of my favorite things. It goes by 2 different names, maybe more, but 2 that I know of. Golden berries and what I usually call gooseberry. People are like, gooseberry? What is a gooseberry? Well, if you're familiar with California or New World Sauvignon Blanc, if you're a fan of New World Sauvignon Blanc, the ones that are bright and tropical fruit flavors that have wonderful citrus notes, which I should have mentioned on the last candle. I wanted to say citrus and I forgot to say it. But gooseberry is this really exotic fruit that it looks like a yellow cherry tomato, but you have to check it out if you don't know what it is. Not just because they taste good, but because I find that when you're doing sensory evaluation, whether it be on wine or on candles or anything, it's a great descriptor because it's something that does come up quite often, and I bring that up because I am smelling it. So what does a gooseberry smell like? Gooseberry smells like almost like, it tastes and it smells like it's almost a tropical fruit. But it has that, of course, a berry aroma. And it has the slightest, it looks like a tomato, and actually it kind of does taste like a cherry tomato. It has that same kind of acidity, sometimes a little bit of that savoriness. It's sweet, but it's also sour, sweet and sour. I'm gonna skip the word tart and say sour, and I'm totally getting. This is a perfect example of blueberry, raspberry, gooseberry. We could say blackberry for sure. Even if we want to say black currant and all that stuff, we could go there. And as far as the vanilla is concerned, this is a really sweet, not exotic vanilla, not a spicy vanilla. I'm going to be talking about some vanilla scents over here. Not a floral vanilla. This really smells like the kind of vanilla, like summertime soft serve ice cream, like that. We used to call it crazy vanilla as a kid. That really powerful vanilla, soft serve, creamy type of vanilla, vanilla bean, like vanilla bean ice cream, with all of those crazy, beautiful berry fruit aromas. There's a little bit of a floral nature, but again, that could just be, the skins of berries can have a very fragrant floral aroma to them. But I don't want to trick, or I don't want to put you guys off too far by talking about florals. Maybe if you want to say like the smallest touch, the hint of lavender. I wonder if there are more fragrance notes on these candles. I'd be very interested to see them. So again, refreshing, but also to me, this is that mini golf course. In the summertime, you walk inside and they have an ice cream stand, and they have some crazy berry flavored concoction ice cream, or sorbet for that matter. It's refreshing, it's sweet, it's creamy. Definitely a summertime fragrance, and there's plenty of complexities in here that keep it from being too childish, and certainly not artificial, not at all. I could say that about both of these candles so far. Authentic. So gooseberry is a sort of like rhubarb in how it is used in dishes. Very good point. I wouldn't have thought to say that, but now that you bring that up, Lou, that makes a lot of sense. Cynthia says, that sounds great. Black raspberry, then vanilla. That sounds great together. And it is. It certainly is. Julie Sugar Pie Cottage. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm seeing everyone say hi to Nancy. Oh, there's Nancy. Everyone's saying hi to Nancy, but I didn't see Nancy. Nancy's in the house. Let's keep this going. Let me show you these wax melts, and I'll sniff them real quick, but then I have two candles here. I don't want to spend too much time because I would love to produce a video, an edited video for my main channel. If you're not subscribed, swing on over. My main channel, The Candle Enthusiast. I am on a hiatus right now. I'm coming back. I know I promised many things, but trust me, I have no intention of going anywhere anytime soon. But I am on an extended hiatus right now, but I would love to certainly highlight BackYard candles. After those first two candles, I'm convinced I want to make an edited video for these folks and perhaps even work with them at a higher capacity. So wax melts, beautiful color on this one. I don't know, what do you call that? Kind of a creamy magenta color. Mediterranean fig. I love it. I love it. These names are very literal, right? It's not like, Twilight on the Mediterranean, right? These aren't fantasy names. These are all literal names so far. But intriguing, to say the very least. Wow. Fig, absolutely. Fig is hard, guys. It is hard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you cannot, there is no such thing as a fig essential oil. You just can't do it. It has to be created artificially, which means it's very hard to get it right. A lot of producers of fragrance oils who sell fig fragrance oil, it just doesn't smell spot on. And I'll tell you how I know this is authentic fig for me, or it's a really, really good interpretation of fig. One of my favorite restaurants in Sonoma County in California, right in the heart of wine country. It used to be this kind of small tucked away place, and it's called The Girl and the Fig. And I used to go there, and you can bring your own wine. They have a great wine list. They have a great bar, fantastic food, super quiet and romantic, very private and intimate setting. And they had, you guessed it, fantastic fig balsamic vinaigrettes. everything, from aged vinegar to just super fresh and sweet and sour vinegar. There's no vinegar note in this, but this does have that fig dressing aromatic that is brightened up with, no question, some citrus. And that restaurant, Girl in the Fig, it's funny, the story is that I used to go there all the time, and then Lady Gaga went sometime, I don't know, after I had already been living in California, and she tweeted about it, she talked about it. Suddenly you couldn't get a reservation for this place, and now it's like the hottest place to eat. So what was super intimate and quiet and tucked away, now it's this super hot place that everybody wants to go to. I still recommend you go, but the power of Lady Gaga. So we have that fig vinaigrette. Think of, if you've ever had a ruby port before, there's a little bit of this raisin-like flavor, sun-dried raisin, golden raisin quality here. A little bit of herbal notes. Again, keep it simple without going too extreme. Nothing pine-like, nothing dill-like. So no thyme or anything like that, or rosemary. But let's say it's like a sage, like a very mild green sage. But then we have the florals. Jasmine, for sure. Jasmine, do we say lavender? Am I going to say lavender? I'm not going to say lavender. I'm going to say lilac, lavender. We're going to go with the purples. Lilac, jasmine. Jasmine's not purple, but, it goes well with purple. Is there a variety of jasmine that's purple? I'm not sure. And then that makes me think, jasmine. Is there a tea, like a black tea quality? I'm not supposed to be doing heavy evaluation on this. I will go there. Maybe that's why I'm saying... I'm definitely getting a floral aspect, but maybe the reason why I said jasmine is because of that. If you've ever had jasmine tea before. So maybe like a black tea, definitely floral, the lilac, lavender, jasmine, and what was the other one I wanted to say? I say this from time to time. Sometimes people know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes people are like, what on earth are you talking about? Dandelions. We were all kids once. We all picked dandelions. You ever peel the dandelion stem, you push your finger down it and it makes like ribbons, or you pop the head off the dandelion. Anyway, the milky substance, the dandelion milk substance inside of that dandelion has that super springtime, summertime green floral. I don't even want to say green, but just that floral aroma that's so unique. A little bit of that going on in here. So Mediterranean fig, to me it's going to be, again, that fig balsamic, ruby port, raisin, sun-dried raisin, golden raisin, contrasted by several different floral aromas, and of course a little bit of citrus, and I don't know, I gotta say some red fruit like raspberry or something that is enhancing that fig. Very nice, very nice. And Lou has posted, thank you Lou, the BackYard candle website. I'm really getting excited here. Pineapple, sage, honeysuckle, jasmine. Let me just give this a quick smell. Honeysuckle, jasmine. Whew. That is... it's tough. For me, floral aromas, I love smelling them. But I don't get to burn them that much. But what's nice about this is that, yes, honeysuckle, because we get that sweet, almost like orange blossom too. And again, that jasmine, very kind of the similar floral notes I was getting on the last one, including the dandelion. But this has a bath and body quality to it. And what I mean by that, it smells like, you know, like a really nice particular kind of hand lotion, soap, artisanal soap, and let's say we brought this in the bathroom. Since we're talking about wine, right? I should be doing wine pairings with these candles. Let's say you have this going in the bathroom, you got the hot tub going, or you've drawn a warm bath, you got the bubbles, and you don't want to do the champagne, right? Champagne or sparkling wine. Sometimes, I'm telling you, I love sparkling wine, I love champagne. It's one of my favorite beverages in the world, but there's so many other white wines for the summertime that people don't seek out. And something that I would love to pair this with if I was melting this or burning this is something called Torrontés. Torrontés really made a name for itself in Argentina. When we think of Argentina, we'll probably think of red wine like Malbec, Carmenere, but Torrontés is the hot white wine for the climate of Argentina, and it has floral qualities to it. It has orange, citrusy, orange blossom qualities to it. It would pair really nicely with this. So in the bathroom, if you want to skip the sparkling wine and go with a nicely chilled, very heavy-bodied white wine, Torrontés, look it up or visit your local wine shop and inquire. Because nobody buys it and because Argentinian wine is always at a good price point, you can get a killer bottle for under $25. Or if you want to do another white wine, let's say from France, the Rhone Valley, Viognier, the northern Rhone Valley of France. If you want to sound really cool, going to the wine shop, say I'm looking for a Condrieu from the northernmost sub-region of the Rhone Valley. You say that in your wine shop. They'll like you as a customer, as long as they know what it is. Sometimes people in wine shops don't even know what they're selling. One more wax melt, pineapple sage. Okay, I'm going to keep this one short because we got to get to these candles. Woo! Dehydrated pineapple slices. Canned pineapple and the juice. Dole canned pineapple juice. And I have to say it, Disney fans, Disney World, Disneyland, when you visit the Enchanted Tiki room, right outside you have a product that's sponsored by Dole, and it's probably the most sought after treat in Disneyland. It's called the Dole Whip. It is a frozen pineapple beverage. I recommend you share it with 2 or 3 people because it's incredibly high in sugar and you will crash, and you do not want to crash at Disneyland. But it is so refreshing. And the reason why I want to say Dole Whip is because just like how Orange Julius was, remember Orange Julius was orange and cream, or if you think of like creamsicles, frozen creamsicles, it's the citrus and the cream. And there you go. That's what you're getting. You're getting that fresh, super ripe pineapple juice, concentrated pineapple, but it's going to have a little bit of that sugar and cream added in. And really, kind of underneath all of it is that sage, those herbal notes. Not just sage for me. Honestly, if I was doing this blind, I would actually go, I would probably venture to say something like a very mild spearmint, eucalyptus, oh man, and I'm trying not to be influenced by the color, but definitely lime. You know, it has that key lime pie thing going on. Yes, minty, eucalyptus. There's probably a few other green notes I could pull out of there, but sage definitely. I could definitely see it. There's so many different varieties of sage, it's really hard to sometimes pinpoint sage in a fragrance. God, but there's some. You give me another 5-10 minutes, maybe not even that, just a minute or so with that candle, I'd be able to pick out something else I'm smelling. I just can't think of it right now. How are we all doing? I am a petite Syrah person. But here's the thing, Cynthia. Want to make sure that I am getting it right. I used to spell these things all of the time. Very, very common thing. Trust me, I'm not making fun in any way. But it gets confusing. The spelling is a little bit different because Petite Syrah really is not related to the grape Syrah at all. Petite Syrah, trying to think of what grapes make up Petite Syrah, but that is the correct spelling right there. And trust me, I'm not being a snob. I just I'm sure that'll help you out shopping in the future. And then I'll type it down here. What is the same is Syrah and Shiraz. Can anybody tell me the difference between those grapes? Or what signifies the difference? Because it is the same grape. Huge high five. Anyone can answer that question. All right. BackYard candles. Woo, beeswax. And this all soy wax essential oils. Let's give it a go. This one is called, does it have a name? It does not have a name on it. It just, well, maybe it's just called pure, well, it's called pure beeswax candle, but it doesn't have a proprietary name. So no, okay, so it's not just beeswax. Woo! Mint, black tea, Earl Grey, baby. Earl Grey for days. Holy moly. That is fun, man. I can almost, when I stick my nose in here, I'm like, I really feel like I'm sticking my nose into a can of loose leaf Earl Grey tea here. I almost don't even smell the beeswax that much. A lot of people, they're not big fans of beeswax. I'm sure when you burn it, you might smell it a little bit. I smell the beeswax, but definitely that mintiness we have. Oh man, I want to get better though. So Earl Grey black tea infused with bergamot. If anyone doesn't know, bergamot is in the citrus family. It's a popular ingredient in all fragrances. It's a musky aroma. I'm trying to kill time. Okay, so that honey-like beeswax is coming through, but I'll tell you why that's really interesting. Beeswax, honey, black tea, bergamot. This is like a glass, a mug of hot, freshly made Earl Grey with a little splash of honey, a little dash of spearmint. Spearmint wintergreen. And speaking of wintergreen, you know what I always say, wintergreen and birch. Birch oil has a wintergreen aroma to it. And I'm getting this like resinous, sappy wood, sandalwood aroma, and it's got a little bit of that wintergreen. So can I say birch? I'm going to. So think about, you have that tea, right? And you take the little, what is it, the little honeycomb wooden spoon, and you scoop out some honey and you swirl that in your mug. So we're actually smelling that wooden, what is that called? The little honey spoon. Big fan. Again, big fan. I just wish they would give this a name. 6 ounces. It has fragrance notes. Peppermint, lavender, and cedarwood with coconut oil. So peppermint, definitely. Coconut oil. Usually, to me, coconut oil. Oh wait, is it coconut oil or coconut wax? No, because it's beeswax. Okay, coconut oil. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Lavender and cedarwood. I don't know, man. I'm definitely getting that black tea. Black tea all the way. This one does have a name. This is the last on the list. Time to Focus. And, okay, it does have fragrance notes on there, but I definitely don't want to look at that. Wow. That's not an easy one. Okay, it's so when I evaluate candles, I have to, or wine or whatever it is, if I'm having this kind of experience where it's sensory overload or aromatic overload, I need to start with specific categories and move along. And since the first thing I'm smelling is like a sandalwood accord. Accord is a mixture of fragrance oils of woods, and to make, you know, every fragrance company has their own sandalwood accord. It's like a recipe that has different ingredients in it, and it's how they represent sandalwood. So sandalwood doesn't just smell like one thing. Every fragrance company really has their own recipe of sandalwood. And just think about fresh timber, fresh wood, not Home Depot, but that rich, robust smell of fresh timber. And I'm getting that spearmint, a little bit, or let's just say mintiness, but I'm also getting a little bit of that green bell pepper, briny thing. Whatever the ingredient was in that first coconut candle's gotta be in here. And it's musky. I'm getting more of that spearmint again. Wrigley's spearmint gum. It's a sweeter spearmint. And there's a muskiness that's reminding me of a spicy cologne, bergamot, basil. Yeah, man, that's it. Fresh picked basil. You know that smell. Go to the grocery store, be careful. When you see the basil plant, pick a tiny leaf, rub it in your fingers just like this, and smell it. Holy moly. And with that cracked black pepper and that basil, little bit of that brininess, again, this is bringing me to the kitchen, but it also has a lot of outdoor smells as well because of that sandalwood. Now, something I haven't mentioned at all so far is spices. And God, please be right. I did see some of the fragrance notes, but I did not see this one, and I hope I'm right. Nutmeg, freshly grated nutmeg. Please don't think about nutmeg of that pre-ground stuff that you buy in the grocery store, the McCormick's pre-ground nutmeg. No, please don't think about that. If you've ever, if you have the fresh nutmeg and you grate it when you're cooking in the kitchen, baking in the kitchen, you'll know that it has this woody, almost lacquered wood nuance to it. It does. Go upstairs, or wherever your kitchen is. Grate, if you have some fresh nutmeg, grate it up, smell, and tell me you don't get a little bit of this fresh lacquered wood aroma. But I would also say maybe some exotic spices. Star anise, maybe. Cardamom. Or coriander. Cardamom or coriander. It's a tough one for me. I always mix them up. Don't laugh at me. I didn't have coriander and cardamom growing up. And cardamom. And there's a resinous smell here too. That tree sap like smell. Let's look at the fragrance notes. I can't take it any longer. Time to focus. Please know that I was not cheating, folks. Okay. There's stuff I'm happy about. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Okay, there's stuff I'm really happy about, but there's stuff I'm upset. I'm upset that I missed. Wow. This is insane. I think I saw 2 fragrance notes when I looked at this quickly. Bergamot. I said cracked black pepper. It says black pepper. Cinnamon. That's annoying. That is annoying. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I just wished I said nutmeg, because to me this smells like nutmeg. Clary sage. Clary sage is a particular kind of sage that you see all of the time in essential oil stores. It's a little bit more of a bright, limey kind of sage aroma. Frankincense. So that's definitely that sandalwood aroma that I'm smelling. Frankincense smells like pine sol in the sense that it smells like pine and citrus, and it smells very wooden. frankincense is the resin that we associate, most of us, probably with Christmas time. Ginger. Yeah, I'm not too upset about that one. Holy basil. Holy basil. I don't know what holy basil is. Holy, as in like holy. But I am so happy that basil's on here because it is so, it was such a clearly dominant aroma. Lemon, eucalyptus is the one I wish I had said. Grapefruit. Absolutely. Grapefruit, ruby red, pomelo. Pomelo is a hot citrus fruit these days for candles, used in perfumes and colognes all the time. Very, very intensely aromatic grapefruit smell, pomelo, but it does say grapefruit here. Rosemary, which is that pine, like that savory pine note that I was saying in the sandalwood accord, and spearmint. So I'm pretty happy with myself. Not to pat myself on the back, but very, very aromatically packed candle. Time to focus. That's what I had to do while smelling this candle, is focus. So this is what I have to say about BackYard candles. I've smelled all of them. I said I was going to skip some. I smelled every single one. There's not a dud in the batch. This last candle was by far the most complex and outrageously complicated to pinpoint, which is a good thing. I said everything from a refreshing, summertime, savory. We had a lot of wooden notes, so outdoorsy. A lot of herbal smells, and remember, there's essential oils in these candles too. That's why maybe it was so easy to pick apart. This one does say all natural soy wax, pure essential oils. All essential oils in here. So maybe that was that did half my job for me. So authentic and really all over the board. Something in this box, everything that I looked at, something for everybody. So please, if you're interested, or just, to support a small batch candle company, make sure you swing over, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, check out the website, follow them, and just browse. Reach out to Justin, say hello. Really cool thing to do is if you send a message or leave a comment on their social media, say, hey, look, I found you through the Candle Enthusiast. This will let Justin know, Barnyard Candles, that what I did today helped me bring you to them, which is great because that means we have the potential of working with BackYard Candles in the future. And like I said, I was very, very impressed by everything. And they are this is a company that I would truly like to, well, of course, burn these candles, but work with in the future. And I will certainly be making an edited video on some of these candles. Maybe I'll get some other candles from them to talk about for a video. So huge thank you if you can do that for me. Be curious, support small business, small production candle companies, and reach out to them, follow them, browse, and like I said, make sure you mention my name, the Candle Enthusiast. This way they know. This way they'll send us more stuff. Maybe we can do giveaways. But we'll at least have more candles to smell and more things to talk about. Justin, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. we're going to quickly switch gears here. I don't even know how many minutes we're at. We have another box. We have an eBay box here. This one coming from Rochelle Park, New Jersey. Let's see what is inside. I think I know what's inside. I hope I know what's inside because I had planned to use for this show what I think is inside this box. I can't complain. I do the same thing. I overpack, and really, it's better to have things overpacked than receive a busted candle in the mail. What the heck? Oh, you're kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me. You hear that? You know what that is? That is a very special Yankee candle that was overpacked and still broke in the mail. It's frustrating on so many levels. I can't tell you how many times I've received vintage Yankee candles smashed in the mail. It's one thing to receive a Yankee candle in the mail that's smashed, but when it's something that is a part of Yankee Candle's history, to me it's just this huge. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And the thing is, it's not broken that much, but it's broken just enough. Oh, well, at least I'll get my money back. I should be wearing gloves for this. I'm sorry, folks. I really was going to show you something kind of cool. This is just awful. And I forgot. This one it was never lit. I was gonna fix it. How could I fix something that was never lit? I thought this was a pre-lit candle. Completely smashed. It's not a Black Band. So I had a lot of information wrong. This is a 2006 or a 2007 vintage Yankee Candle. Chocolate cappuccino. I'm telling you, I was so excited for this one because not only have I been fooling around with different hot cocoa recipes recently, but I've also been really practicing my skills on pulling good shots of espresso and trying to make cappuccinos. I mean, I make a great cup of coffee, but I'll tell you right now, making espresso-based beverages is something that I haven't had a lot of practice with. So I guess I'll save this for another video. I can smell this right now, but that's about all I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to have to salvage this candle, save it, put it into a different vessel. The label seems to be a little bit ripped, but no, it's in one piece. I'll save the candle, I'll get a refund, but again, to me, this is a collector's piece, part of Yankee Candle's history. This was a really good time for Yankee Candle as far as the intensity of their candles being really high, which I know a lot of you love your candles high intensity. Yankee Candle these days, their intensity is a little bit, it ranges more, right? They go from anywhere from light minus to, well, heavy plus, but the majority of their library are medium minus intensity candles. But this was a time. And it smells so good. This candle, I gotta be careful I don't cut my nose. This candle is what? It's 11 years old? 12 years old? And it smells like a Tootsie Roll, guys. It's got that artificial coffee bean. You know the Maxwell House powdered cappuccino? Used to be made by, they came in the tin cans. It was International Foods. International Foods. And they had like French vanilla, coffee powder mix. Maxwell House bought them out. And they still make the products. But it, you know, it's like, it doesn't smell like real fresh coffee beans. It smells like that artificial coffee beans. And that's not a bad thing because that's super nostalgic. So I would say chocolate cappuccino Swiss Miss powdered hot beverage. Definitely not a dark chocolate or rich like mocha. Not smoky like espresso at all. Little bit of like hazelnuts dipped in honey. And just think of like you took like a huge amount of Tootsie Rolls and you put them on low heat or something in a saucepan and just melted that down. Warm, hot, ooey gooey Tootsie Roll. And just for fun, take a big, like 2 tablespoons of marshmallow fluff and mix it inside of that melted Tootsie Roll. Little bit of that marshmallow action. Again, this is reading to me more as a Swiss Miss hot cocoa that would be marketed as like a mocha. Like it's primarily hot cocoa, but maybe it's got a little bit of that, you know, artificial coffee and hazelnut creamer. It's amazing when you smell hazelnut how much it makes you think of coffee, but really hazelnut smells. Usually most coffees won't have hazelnut notes. This is a shame. I'm upset. Look at that damage. That wick is a little weird. Can you see that wick? Looks like someone was chewing on it, but it definitely was not lit. This thing is super shiny. There is no rattle. If you hear a little rattle, it's okay in your older candles. The wax just kind of shrinks a little bit. But there's no rattle here, which means it probably was stored in pristine condition. But it's broken. I will fix it, but again, to me it's more about the collectability of this. I'm sorry, guys. Even if it wasn't broken, I was going to show you how to fix it. So I guess I'll put this one away. Oh no. And I'll grab, oh god, this is scary. I'll grab a very special candle. This is a long time retired. This is a Black Band. It's just so simplistic, the concept. This is Raspberry by Yankee Candle. And trying to keep up in the tattoo studio and they're blasting the music. Curious Cat 1920. Again, I don't think we've been introduced. I see a lot of new faces here. Walking Tours, long time no see. I turned off a Jeffree Star video to watch this one when I saw the notification. That's super awesome. I appreciate that. Lou has left us. Bye, Lou. Mary says, hi, Shane. Lou says, on the site, the 6-ounce jar candle selection of Barnyard Candles, there are 3 scents listed as pure honey, peppermint, lavender, cedarwood, citronella, and lemongrass. Mine didn't say that. Or she's probably talking about there's 2 different ones. My all-time favorite is London Fog. I love Earl Grey. I missed a lot of these. Okay. Sorry about that. I'll try to keep my eyes down there. So we have a Black Band candle. You know, a lot of you guys know your Yankee Candle history, but you know, I want to make sure that I'm addressing folks who are not necessarily don't know all of the little details. The Black Band candle was slowly introduced. It didn't like just pop up and just took over every format of Yankee Candle. It slowly popped up in the late 80s, and it disappeared. The Black Band refers to, of course, the Black Bands here. It disappeared in mid-2006, and then it was switched to the more classic label. The name went down there, all that's good stuff. So this candle, there is certainly a way to, because these old candles don't have the barcode on the bottom to tell you about the year it was poured, but there are ways by looking at small details, the lid and the size of the font and the way the format is on the bottom sticker of how old this candle is. This candle isn't super old. It is, my guess would be late 90s, early 2000s. So this isn't a super old Black Band, but you can see that it has been lit before. And it has tunneled. So let me just fix this. I'm having a little bit of problem seeing you guys. So I'm going to show you, since I promised, I put it in the headline, how do I fix not only tunneling, but because, when you're dealing with these candles that are old, you really have to be extra careful. A newer candle will be easier to repair, but the longer it stays damaged, the little bit more tender, loving care, TLC, you need to give it. Now, I said this a couple weeks ago that a lot of people thought I was joking, but I mean it. Every candle owner, whether you're a casual candle burner or a candle enthusiast, a candle aficionado, you always see me break out the blowtorch for fun, but this is a tool. I mean it, folks. Everybody needs to have one of these, as long as you're of the right age to be playing with fire. And even you adults, sometimes I don't trust you with fire. This is a creme brulee torch. This is a fairly inexpensive one. What's great is, unlike a blowtorch, you can point this in any direction straight down and it won't blow out on you. The flame isn't out of control. This is a way for you to apply a small amount of heat or a lot of heat in a very precise area of the candle. If you're having trouble with your candle pooling out, here's a great example. I had this candle going, honey lavender gelato. I've had this going for a while now. This has been going on, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. What I can do is very, very carefully, right? I'm not keeping it on that hot glass. but I'm touching the glass. And just when it's just about too hot to keep your finger on there, you know you have to stop. But you see, I hope you can see that. What that has done, and I put, although it's not completely pulled out yet, I've just added a lot of heat to that glass. So now it's going to pull out in a matter of seconds, right? And although, you know, we don't want to be doing that, right? It's really annoying. You have to keep in mind, I have a fan going on in here. I have an air conditioner going on in here. So it's not a pristine, you know, the pristine conditions to be burning a candle. If you have a draft in your room or your living space, you know, it's perfectly normal to have pooling issues. But once the pool is, you know, going, see that? I could probably hit that with a little bit more heat, but that will, see, it's still warm to the touch. That will fix itself in just a matter of moments. This is a Bonjour. Bonjour makes a lot of culinary products. $20 on Amazon. You can get a really, really, really fancy one. Cool colors if you want to spend $50. If you're really into candle accessories. However, that is not the only thing that I recommend that you purchase. There's another essential tool that I think every candle owner should have. And there's some options on, what you want to buy. This is a heat tool or a heat gun. It's for arts and crafts. There's industrial heat guns, which I don't recommend. Those are a bit hardcore. But what this is essentially, the best way I can put it is essentially a hair dryer, a blow dryer, but without the heavy fan, right? This is not going to, be putting out a huge blast of wind. But it does put out a lot of heat. So there's no fire involved here. It's hot. I wish it was a little bit hotter. This is pretty inexpensive. I might have to upgrade one day. But you can do, I recommend for an older candle using something like this. So I'm going to try to do this the best I can. Let's see if we can get this going. You want to heat up that wax, but really what's more important is that you're heating up the glass. You want the glass to be warm. The glass is what's going to melt the wax. And when you have cooling issues, like if you have the AC on, the reason why you're having the cooling issues is because the glass of the candle is not warm enough to contain the heat. That's why ceramic vessels are really good, because they hold in the heat so much more than glass. Glass expends the energy really quickly. Usually I would just do that for a long while. Look how smooth that surface is. But just to speed things up for now, the one thing to be careful with the creme brulee torch is to make sure you do not hit the label, right? You don't want to singe the label or warp it. So you have to kind of dodge it. But I'm just going to, again, I'm hitting the wax, but really what's more important is that I'm getting the glass hot, because that will melt the wax on its own. And the idea is to mix the wax that has tunneled with the wax that has never been melted on the side. You want to homogenize the tunneled wax with the wax that never melted. Does that make sense? What that does is that will ensure that you will get an even burn when you relight this, and it won't tunnel on you again. It's kind of like you have, 1% milk and 2% milk. 1% milk being the tunneled wax, the 2% being the wax that never melted. And what you want to do is you want to mix the 1% and the 2% together to make a 1.5% milk. Again, this will help with making sure that it just doesn't retunnel when you relight it. If it didn't have the black band here, I could actually put the flame, just touch the flame a little bit on the outside of the glass, but I don't want to hurt that black band. And see how I'm tilting it like this? Puts all the melted wax down on the side. Just got to make sure. See, that's hot. Can't get too hot. If it gets too hot, we're risking shattering that glass. And that would be even worse than receiving a broken candle in the mail. It's taken a little bit longer than I had hoped, but it's getting there. And that glass is really hot. A good thing to do at this point is, I don't have some, I have one right here. It's taped on there. Black wrap or cinefoil. I talk about it all the time. It's a really thick, like aluminum foil that's black. It's used for studio lights, for stage and filmmaking. If you wrap, not over the top, but if you wrap the glass in this foil, you can also just use tin foil, that'll help just keep that heat in. This glass is still really hot, so even though the tunneling hasn't completely fixed itself, the heat will continue to make that wax melt in the center. And I'm just mixing it like this. Again, mixing that 1% milk with the 2% milk. And then let's let this cool down. It's not perfect, it needs a little bit of work, but I'll show you how much different it looks like than when we first started. So again, 2 tools I highly recommend. I definitely think I'm going to upgrade from this. But it's good to have it, because if you do need low heat, plus like that soy wax or the softer wax, this was more than enough. But paraffin takes a little bit more heat, so I think I might get a little bit, upgrade this to a hotter heat gun, but also keep this one and the creme brulee torch. 2 essential tools. I mean it. sometimes, I mean, I know sometimes I do a lot of things for fun, playing around, like break out the blowtorch. But I really mean it. I get so upset when people say that the candle tunneled and it can't be fixed, or people talk about cotton balling or the puny wicks. There's always ways to fix it. I mean, again, candle companies shouldn't be having to put in that effort, right? To break out tools to fix candles. But, it's better than throwing the candle away. Puny wicks, for example. I think I'm going to patent this idea because I just love the name. Wick extensions. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous, but think about it. One day I'll show you on a live or an edited video how easy it is. How easy it is to, instead of dumping wax out or cotton balling, pulling wax out of the jar. Sometimes we just need those wicks to be a little bit longer, and we need a different kind of wick that's going to blow hotter but slower. And wick extensions, I'm going to trademark that and patent it. But I've done it, and it's worked very well. How are we all doing down here? Wow, a lot of good stuff you guys have been talking about. Illumilids. Illumilids definitely help, but I am a polar bear, guys. I mean it, and I don't mean like physically. I'm not talking about physical appearance. I mean a polar bear in that I love the cold. I had central air for years, and central air is like the most wonderful thing in the world, but it is your worst enemy when it comes to burning candles, because you have a constant draft that it's a chaos of draft. And the way I would see the pattern of the draft in my apartment, you're going to think I'm nuts. The draft in my apartment with the central air is I bought a cheap fog machine, and what I did was I pumped the fog into my apartment, and this way I could watch the fog and see where the draft was going, and I could see the pattern. It was constantly circulating across the ceiling down to the floor. But what that does is, if you don't have your candle in like a glass tumbler, or like a hurricane, or a glass jar, a vessel, whatever you call it, an Illumilid is really not going to save it, because again, it's about making sure the glass stays hot. If the glass is not warm to the touch, if it's cool, you're going to have problems, especially if one side is cool and one side is warm. And when you have drafting in your living space, it's guaranteed to happen. Air conditioners, fans, open windows with breezes, all the same thing. So it's really, to me, it's finding out what works for you. I like Illumilids, and I think someone said it helps with soot. Catch the soot. And I think that's a great point. And I used to use shades a lot. I use Illumilids and shades now for Yankee Candles, really just for decoration. Because I've kind of figured out where I need to place a candle, how to make sure that there's no drafting in that area to keep the glass warm. Or I put it simply into a ceramic jar to make sure it pulls out, or a glass jar to make sure it pulls out. And once it pulls out and it's warm enough, it should continue to burn equally, unless like today where I have the AC blasting like crazy. I just feel jaded over the large one-wick apothecary jars. No matter who makes them, I'm addicted to 3 wicks because I don't have to babysit them to get them to pool. I understand that. And Laura, you changed your name, your YouTube handle. I get that. I think that's just your preference. I've always been a house warmer. When it comes to Yankee Candle, a house warmer, single wick, paraffin wax guy. I definitely see the benefits with the Yankee Candles and the softer wax and the 2 wicks, and hearing new stories about the bold Yankee Candles. But for me, I don't like to burn through a candle in 2 days, a week, even a month. Some of these candles in my collection I've burned many times over many years. And the paraffin wax is going to, again, from my experience, guys, I'm not a chemical engineer, but the paraffin wax is a harder block of wax, and it's going to protect the fragrance oils inside, meaning your candle, even though Yankee Candle tells you 5-year shelf life, I've shown you Yankee Candles before that are well over 30 years old that still smell and burn amazingly. So when I burn candles, I just got used to get home from work, light one up, let it burn for a couple, 3 hours, 4 hours, or all night, making sure I blow it out, let it dry every 4 hours, or let it solidify, then relight it. But I find that although you do need to babysit them sometimes, they just last so much longer. And I like my candles personally. I like my candles around medium intensity. I don't really like high intensity candles. So soft wax with multiple wicks. For those of you guys who have huge houses or just love big bombastic aromas, it's perfect. My sister-in-law was saying, like, I love Bath and Body Works. They're so intense. Like, her husband, my brother, picked her up from work, and when he picked her up, she got into the car, and he smelled like the candle that was burning in the apartment that day. And I told Monica, I'm like, that's awesome. I don't want that. Like, that's not the intensity I'm looking for. So we're all different, and we have to embrace that we're all different, and that we have different preferences. And what's good is that we have those options. There's different kinds of candles for different folks. Really intense ones, softer wax, harder wax. Let's move on. What else does the headline say? And if you're watching right now and you're enjoying, and if you have the ability to hit that thumbs up, make sure you do that. Only if you're enjoying the show, though. Only if you're enjoying the show. If you're not subscribed already, I need to plug this real quick, if you don't mind. I need to get this is my second channel. I need to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll tell you why. My main channel is well more than 1,000 subscribers, but this channel's always been a super intimate little hangout. It's like the Candle Enthusiast treehouse. It's just for like, a little intimate group. But YouTube has changed their policies recently, and this is not the first time. And although YouTube has really, in many ways, changed so many things for not only me, but the media industry, I'm really upset by how they treat the smaller, modest creators on YouTube. You know, not everybody wants to be a YouTube superstar, right? It's fun to have a small, modest channel following, especially when you talk about candles. You're not going to get the whole world watching a live channel with me talking about candles. But if I don't have 1,000 subscribers on this channel, it prevents me from benefiting in a lot of ways. One, we could be making not tons of money, it's essentially pennies. But while we're sitting here hanging out, YouTube could be paying us money. Where does that money go? It doesn't go into paying my car bill or my insurance. It goes into the Candle Enthusiast. Everything. The travel, the production value of the show, the equipment, investing for the future. The website is going to launch soon. All new merchandise coming soon. Really excited about that. So all of the money that can be made goes into funding the channel, and so we can't moderate the videos until we have those 1,000 subscribers. We can't super chat. Super chat is a great way. Right now, if I said everybody throw in $1, and then next week we'll have an awesome fine, maybe not fine wine, but like $20 to $35 wine wine evaluation, and I could go through these wines and share with you a little bit about my sommelier background and my sensory evaluation, talk about these wines, and I could buy wines that I think are awesome that you could find at a really inexpensive price because they're out there, and this way would give us other things to talk about, because I can't just go out and spend $75 on wine just for a random Sunday. But if we could all chip in $1, we could do it. We could also talk about coffee. We could do barbecue sauce taste tests. We could do candy. We could do anything. Soda pop. So again, having 1,000 subscribers on this channel, we're not that far away. It's not like it's an impossibility. But what would really benefit it is that the super chat and the monetization, this way a little bit of funding will come in from YouTube. They should be giving it to us, right? They should be giving it to us, and they don't. So it's preventing us from doing other potentially really fun things on these Sundays that we could be doing. Okay, so that's it. So Aromatically Speaking, second channel. Make sure you subscribe. Do what you can, tweet it out, share it on social media, the link, but also make sure you're subscribed to the Candle Enthusiast, my main channel. I'm on a hiatus right now, but I'm coming back. I can't give you a date, but I'm coming back, guys, I promise. All right. We're pretty deep into this live video, about an hour and a half. So I have a lot of stuff on the table. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what I'm going to talk about at a later date. Just things that we're not going to be able to get to today. What's great about Bigfoot? Look at those buns. Look at that. You see that? Like, he's got like a rock hard butt, man. Like, that's some serious, well, I don't know if it's rock hard, but it's definitely got, it's shapely, right? There's a lot of contours to it. I think that's the best touch. This is like the greatest coffee mug. It's great. It's a thick ceramic. It makes me laugh. Anyway. And Nancy says, oh, wine sounds good right about now. It does, doesn't it? I have a whoopie pie I will never burn. Do you see whoopie pie? Everyone, I'm telling you, man, it's like, I mentioned this not too long ago, whoopie pie, and shared my love of it, because Lady Chaos, I feel the same way. I mean, I burned this one, but I really probably should get another one, because it probably is. I don't want to say it's my favorite chocolate Yankee candle, but the intensity and the authenticity is right where I like it. Like something like chocolate layer cake, it's like someone threw a cherry bomb in a chocolate layer cake, or like chocolate mousse or ganache. And chocolate truffle is really good. I always like the Girl Scout Thin Mints one, but definitely whoopie pie is my favorite. I have a video that I filmed way back before the holidays, but I went to this bakery. I'll plug them right now. The owner is Kathy, Public House Bakery, within the Public House Inn in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. And she had a pumpkin spice whoopie pie. You guys, you know how I say it all the time. I can't do a lot of sugar. My head starts to spin. I always thought I was hypoglycemic. I'm not. But I just very sensitive to high sugar. But let me tell you, it was so good. I ate this entire thing, and I wanted to sleep for like 5 hours. It was so good. Anyway. So we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about in upcoming live videos. How's this sound? 1 out of 10. I'm using a new microphone because I have a new setup. I have the Blue Yeti microphone, but I also have the air conditioner on, the fan on, and it's close to my face. 1 to 10, how does it sound? I call this the Matterhorn. I've given it the name Blue Yeti. You get it? Matterhorn, Harold, Disneyland. Yeah, blue ice. Anyway. Future episodes, I was going to show you some Goodwill finds. I found some really cool coffee candles. These looked... at Goodwill, like inexpensive candles, but they smelled really good. And ironically, kind of smelled like that what was it, chocolate cappuccino, the broken Yankee candle. It smells like Tootsie Rolls. It's kind of very similar. So I picked 2 of them up for $2. Can't go wrong with that. But I'll also share a bunch of other things that I got at Goodwill. How awesome is this mug? This is like the thickest stoneware, microwave safe, dishwasher safe, opal house. It's got like pineapples and bungalows, coconut trees, heavy. The thicker it is, the just like a candle, right? It's going to keep your beverage hotter longer. This one I'm excited about. Well, I just had to. I was shopping yesterday. I came across this. I'm so confused. So we were going to have to do this sooner rather than later. I knew we weren't going to get to this today. But this is called New Jello Play Monster Slime. 100% edible, lime flavored, edible gelatin slime mix. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it encourages you to play with it, the slime, before you eat it. What in God's name? Do any of you have like young kids, or any of you like early education, teacher who might know what this stuff is? We have to find out. I'm going to play with it, and I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to smell it, because we keep things all about the aromatics here. This isn't a plug. I am not collaborating with this company, but I did discover this company recently. This is called the Big Dipper Waxworks. I don't know why I'm showing all this, but we're going to be talking about this company a little bit more because really, really good stuff, including this candle company too, Jack's Kelly. I found a couple of boutique stores where I live, and they had some great candles, including Votivo, but I'm super excited. There's a brand new, you guys know I hang out in New Paltz, New York a lot. I find myself there a lot. It's really nice to film there, a lot of pretty scenery. There's a brand new candle shop completely devoted to candles opening up, and what they're doing is selling candle like small batch candle companies. And they haven't officially opened. They may have now, but when I went there, they haven't officially opened up to the public. Two more candle companies I just want to give a quick shout out to because we will be talking about these again. If you are a part of the Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan group, it's a mouthful. You probably have heard about this company. And if you're not a part of the Facebook group, hey, swing on over. We don't just talk about candles. We talk about a whole slew of stuff. We've all become really great friends. I don't run the thing. I just always have to put that out there. It's run by a wonderful group of moderators and the administrator, Rachel. But this candle company is something that I discovered in one of my very popular videos, the Norman Rockwell video. And since then, back in November, I actually spent the day. It's a husband and wife company. They just make soaps, candles, shampoos, lotions, all essential oils. Everything is 100% natural. They make it right in their home. Very, very, very humble, very talented folks. And let me tell you, I legitimately use their shampoo. My dog uses their shampoo. I love their candles. I've been using their room sprays. I've used their hand lotion. I am like legit a user, not a user, but a consumer of this company. I just love everything they make, and I think their allure is because everything is natural. The company is called Asia Luna. This one is a Christmas fragrance, and this is going out to a dear friend of mine for one of my subscription boxes. That's right, there is a Candle Enthusiast subscription box. Make sure you check out patreon.com/The Candle Enthusiast. The link is in the description below for all details about the subscription box. But holy moly. Again, we talked about essential oils before with Barnyard Candle, but it makes a huge, huge difference. Essential oils, I'll be honest, they're not going to have a shelf life of 30 years like those Yankee candles I was talking about, because the essential oils are much more perishable. It just means when you buy, you have to burn. And this one I did get around Christmas, and it smells just as lovely. And it's just, because it's essential oils, it's so authentic. It smells like all of the wonderful baking spices. It's called Yuletide. All of the wonderful baking spices that we have in sweet treats and beverages during the Christmas season. Apples and other dried fruits, rum, cake, a little bit of that, but there's this not overwhelming, but like dominant cedarwood, pine tree, pine needle, rosemary smell. This is like being not by the Christmas tree, inside of the Christmas tree. It's like you're wearing the Christmas tree. Very, very good candle. But this candle company is very much local to me. I've never heard of them, and I stumbled across this candle. I have yet to reach out to them, but it's on my things to do this week, but I literally just found this, and look them up. www.3chickscompany. Chicks as in like rad girls. Chicks, or like marshmallow chicks. I'm trying not to be sexist. That's the name of the company. 3chickscompany.com. Soy candles, handmade in the Hudson Valley. The Hudson Valley is like Ulster, Dutchess, Westchester counties, 40 miles to 150 miles north of New York City, the Hudson Valley, up the Hudson River. So the Hudson Valley, so I'm not sure exactly where they're out of, but Hudson Valley is a pretty big place. But this one is called, check that out. So there are 3 little chicks on the label, like bird chicks. Freshly brewed. Now, one thing is, I bought this in a boutique, like an expensive boutique, where things are like 300% what they should cost. And this is a rather large travel tin. I mean, so big that it's not even a travel tin. I don't know how many ounces that is. It looks about like 3, 4, 3.5. But it's just a big travel tin. And my point is, $12.99 in a boutique that charges an exorbitant amount of money for products, especially local products. So I'm sure they're charging less than that on their website. So definitely check them out. Again, I'm reaching out to them. $12.99. Again, freshly brewed soy wax. And what's interesting is that it's kind of their signature look. It has that curly Q, kind of like pigtail wick. It's kind of cool. I wonder if that's just a part of how they pour their candles, but it's definitely a signature look that they have. All their wax is uncolored and white, and freshly brewed. Man, you know how much I'm always seeking for the perfect coffee candle. And although this is a sweetened coffee with creamers and Irish cream flavored little packets, or half and half, and chocolate, fudgy notes. It's a lot of people how they drink their coffee. You go to Starbucks, you get whatever they have there, drizzles of chocolate and flavorings. But through that all, and none of that what I said is bad, but I am looking, for me personally, for that perfect black coffee candle. Again, coffee bean, you just cannot really extract an essential oil that smells accurate to the coffee bean. It has to be artificially made. So a lot of coffee candles end up smelling like fudge or chocolate. And this does, but this has, I think what really helps the coffee side of this be authentic is that it has a dark chocolate note. It has like a rich, I don't want to say bittersweet, but very dark chocolate aroma. It's a little bit smoky, little bit smoky, like a heavily roasted coffee bean, but just a non-sweet chocolate note that does kind of provoke the image of, sticking your nose into a bag of darker roasted espresso beans, or just a dark, bold roast at a coffee shop. So this candle really sold me over, but they had a lot of like peach cobbler candles, and really beautiful. They only had a few at that boutique, But I am going to make it a priority to reach out to these ladies, these 3 chicks. Hey, it could be 3 guys. 3 guys can call themselves 3 chicks. I don't know. But I smelled several of their candles, and because they're local, I definitely want to not just highlight them, their products, but highlight them. Because they're local, I would love to see their studio, bring my camera, bring you guys along with me, and maybe we can learn a little bit. Hey Shane, where's Santa? Santa is actually right here, just off screen. If you look right here, you'll see Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. And Santa is with Sally. I try to switch up the stuff behind me. I didn't have that much time today. And Stephanie's not here, but we have Stephanie's piece of artwork that she made. I have to find a better place for it so you all can see it, but it's tons of Starbucks bags that I sent her that she made this beautiful collage out of. I love any scent that includes a mistletoe too. Absolutely. All right. So future episodes we'll be talking about that, but since this is actually in the headline, let's do it. Bath & Body Works, the Candle Enthusiast. Bath & Body Works, the Candle Enthusiast. The biggest question by far that I get in comments, that I get in emails, that I get on social media is why it's usually said like this: why do I not like Bath & Body Works? And I don't know what I say or what I do that makes it seem like I don't like Bath & Body Works, because that's certainly not the case. I just don't. When I do my candle evaluations, I usually don't do Bath & Body Works. And there's a couple reasons. One, because, I would have to invest in, all of the Bath & Body Works candles. It adds up, right? They put out a decent amount of candles. But also, Bath & Body Works, and there's nothing wrong with this, but because of my evaluations, I like evaluating candles that aren't like always literal. Like if I pull out this candle, it's Yankee Candles, snow is glistening, right? Well, that's not telling you what this candle smells like. That's a very poetic fantasy name. So it's not called lavender, jasmine, honeysuckle, white musk. I'm trying to think of what this smells like. It's not. That's a literal name. So Bath & Body Works candles, because I find that the majority of their candles are literal, like they're explaining what it smells like. It's not a big challenge for me. So, and plus there's so many other people doing Bath & Body Works evaluations. So when the day comes, if the Candle Enthusiast, I have to start making more videos, but when the Candle Enthusiast, if we get bigger, we get a bigger following. If we get more Patreon members, we get more funding coming in, we get merchandise going out. If the show can essentially fund itself and I can go out and buy Bath & Body Works candles, I will be happy to keep you up to date on all of the Bath & Body Works products. They have a whole slew of new stuff that just came out that looks so exciting. But, I like talk about Yankee Candle, and I prefer really to talk and focus my attention on small batch candle companies, because small batch candle companies, that really is my mission. I like the big candle companies, but I feel like if I can do anything for the candle industry, if I can have any kind of influence on the candle industry, it's hopefully I can draw attention to candle burners, to small production candle companies. I don't think there's anything wrong with buying from big candle companies, but I also really want to encourage people to go out and to look for those artists who are actually making the candles themselves. It's not a big company. It's not a big, factory. It's a small studio. Sometimes it's a garage. Sometimes it's a kitchen. But the people behind these small companies, some of them are amazing artists with huge hearts and a lot of passion. So I kind of went off on a tangent there. So I did recently make a purchase from Bath & Body Works, so this is very rare. And I didn't buy candles. I bought the Fine Fragrance Mist. They were like half off. I had a coupon. Why did I buy these? My dog Elsa, she went to the groomer not too long ago, and she came back, and she didn't smell the usual way that she does. Usually the groomer that she goes to has this very specific shampoo that smells a certain way. However, last time she came back, she smelled like... The only way I can say it is if I take that time machine back to the late 90s, when mid to late 90s, when I was in middle school, before Bath & Body Works was known for candles, every girl on the school bus, in the cafeteria, they had this stuff, and the one popular fragrance was I don't know what it was called. I mean, was it just French vanilla bean? Was it just vanilla? French vanilla? I don't know, but every now and then I smell a vanilla fragrance, and I'm like, it brings me right back to those days where the girls would just like douse themselves with this stuff, and to the point where it was just like, it was so nauseating. It smelled good, but it was just nauseating. But Elsa came back and she smelled like that vanilla, only wasn't super intense and nauseating. So I thought, okay, well, I have to find out. I'm going to buy as many vanilla Bath & Body Works spray mists as I can and see which one maybe smells like that kind of vanilla, and just spritz a little bit, just a little bit on my baby dog Elsa. Hopefully this stuff is tested on animals. But since I had to buy a bunch of them, I got a couple ones that weren't vanilla. This one is Apple Country. Hey, I live in Apple Country. I grew up in Apple Country. The apple trees they're losing their blossoms now, but if you caught them about a week ago, they were bright pink and purple. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's a very specific smell to August, September, and October in Apple Country. So because there's alcohol in these body sprays, I can't just like smell it like this. The best way to do is, get like a card stock. I just have a Post-it. My room is going to smell so much. Let's put a little bit of mist on there. Wave it like this, that'll evaporate the alcohol. So Apple Country by Bath & Body Works. I believe this is a retired fragrance, or you can only get it on the website. Wow. That is very feminine. And I know feminine is a subjective thing, but I'll be honest, that does remind me of middle school. Not even high school, but middle school. I mean, I don't know. Do these miss? I know women and men of any age, any demographic will use these. But to me, this smells like, I have to just paint a portrait of a girl. Like, think about a Generation X, Breakfast Club, Molly Ringwald, Pretty in Pink, 16 years old. Like, this is what she would smell like. Like, this smells not only very feminine, but it smells like a young girl. And I'm trying to say this in a way where it's not sounding creepy, but what I mean is it's a very bubbly, bubblegum, candy, Jolly Rancher-esque. Maybe that's what I should say. Molly Ringwald walking around with a big bag of penny candy, Now and Later's, Jolly Ranchers. Does it smell like apple? Yeah, it smells a lot like Macintosh skins. Macintosh skins have a very distinct, fragrant skin. They're great for baking. They're very soft in the inside, and the skins are very aromatic. But this is a candified version of that. Whew. I don't know. Please, let me know if you think differently. Meaning, like, if you would wear that and you're not Molly Ringwald in the 80s. Let's try all the vanilla ones or the non-vanilla ones first. This one everyone talks about. And whether it be the candle or whether it comes out in a different name. This is Sparkling Limoncello. Limoncello is... How do you want to classify it? It's not necessarily a liqueur. There's probably a more accurate name for this. I didn't major. I have a degree in beverage, and I can't answer this question. But limoncello is made from lemon zest. It's an Italian beverage. A lot of great producers making it in the United States now. In California, the primary lemon of choice is a Meyer lemon. So I see some citrus blossoms on here. Again, limoncello is not about the tart lemon juice. It's about the zest, right? If you're making a cocktail and you have limoncello, you got to put that lemon juice in there to brighten it up, because limoncello is not tart, or it shouldn't be anyway. But I would expect this to be tart. I would want this to be tart. I would want this to be refreshing. I would want this to be like a very mature, cocktailish lemonade. Wow. I mean, so I love this. This is not Molly Ringwald. This is not young girl. This is not middle school. This is not high school. This is just a refreshing fragrance. But with that said, I know there's a lot of people, and you probably already know this, those of you who feel this way. There's a very fine line between something like this and like Lemon Pledge or lemon cleaning supplies, because lemon juice, lemon zest, used in tons of cleaning supplies. A lot of us have that association of, when we're young kids and our parents are up at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday cleaning the house, and everything in the house, my dad, everything was wood in the house, so everything was covered in furniture polish, including Lemon Pledge. But I don't have a bad association with it, and I don't think of like a Mr. Clean or cleaning supply when I smell this. To me, this is very refreshing. It's all about the lemon zest, but it is brightened up with the tart citrus. Yeah, it's refreshing. This is a summertime. This could, I mean, this is a great fragrance to put on your body, but like, you know, it's not necessarily what I think of. You know, I think like I would burn this in a candle form really quickly. Okay, so we have 3 more vanilla mists. I'm going to try these. And if you're wondering if I've smelled these before, I've tried 2 of the vanillas, but I don't remember which one was which. This one, I believe, was online only, a retired Wild Madagascar Vanilla. Madagascar Vanilla, exotic, vanilla bean. Let's see. Now, I know that there's other stuff going on. I don't have the fragrance notes on me. Alcohol. See, this smells like that, what I was saying, the school bus. The girls in the mid-90s when I was in grade school. However, I mean, it's got that vanilla quality, but there's other floral notes going on here that makes this more mature. And I don't mean mature as in like old lady mature. I hate even using that term. But there's a musky floral side to this as well that makes this different. It's got that same kind of vanilla component that I was talking about before, but this is something a little bit more for any demographic. If you like vanilla, I think Madagascar is a good name, because even though this doesn't smell like specifically like Madagascar vanilla, if I say exotic vanilla bean, it helps paint that portrait of the floral notes. This is good. This is good. I would. It doesn't smell contemporary to me. Does that make sense? Like if I met someone who was wearing this, I wouldn't be like, wow, your fragrance is totally not contemporary. But if I'm just separating the person and the fragrance, when I smell this smells like, I don't know, the past. Perfume of the past. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's been a long day for me so far. I like that. That's the one I actually did try on Elsa, I think. We have right here warm vanilla sugar. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the big popular one that's always around. Nicole says middle school jam was Love Spell, Victoria's Secret. Oh, I have to write that down, because I was trying to do research on that era popular vanilla fragrances, or just fragrances from that era. You have all of my favorites, says Nancy. Bonfire Bash, so good. Love Spell, that's a lovely name. I have to understand. Not only am I not a perfume and cologne person. I mean, I've tried to catch up over the past couple of years, to be able to identify the ingredients and the best I can in perfume and colognes. I never wear cologne, almost ever. I think I wore Calvin Klein 1 in high school, and it's just, like someone would call you out on it, like, oh, even if they said, oh, you smell good, it just made me uncomfortable. And then, of course, later on in life, working in the wine industry, I couldn't smell. I had to smell neutral, because if I was in a tasting room or restaurant setting, you can't smell like anything. So neutral shampoo, conditioner, deodorants, antiperspirants, body wash, soaps, everything had to be neutral. So I just, again, pointing out that I'm not a cologne perfume enthusiast, but I'm learning. Warm vanilla sugar. I thought out of all of these, this was going to be the more mature fragrance. Again, not old lady, but not youthful teenager. And I don't see that being the case at all. This has like a really nice, like, brown sugar. Obviously vanilla. Floral, but much less than the Madagascar vanilla. And there's something else, and you guys probably all know what's in these fragrances. This is really hitting a spot in my brain that's reminding me of something very specific, like something I used to smell, and I just can't pinpoint it. This is why I have to edit a lot of my videos on my main channel. I really like this one. I like this one. I put a lot on here. It evaporated very quickly, but it doesn't seem as intense, which I like. I mean, maybe it was just the amount I put on the Post-it, but to me this is more subtle, right? Like, somebody's wearing this and they walk by you, you'll smell it, but if you're sitting next to them, it's not going to be this constant barrage of, wow, you smell like body spray. I like this one a lot. I think it's a really good name. Warm vanilla sugar. Actually, I would call it warm sugared. Warm vanilled. No. Warm sugar and vanilla. Vanilla, I don't know. I can't figure it out. But warm vanilla. I think I should say warm sugar. Because, again, warm sugar, brown sugar, molasses, caramel, toffee, even cotton candy, spun sugar. If you want to call it something a little bit more culinary appropriate. We got one more. What did I do with the Post-its? This one, again, I don't know. You guys probably know all of this stuff. Went by a vanilla name, like vanilla almond, maybe? And it has a new name now, or maybe I'm completely wrong, but this is almond blossom, and I bought it because it's supposed to have vanilla notes in it. Like I was told, I think it had vanilla in the name in the past, but there's an awful lot of florals on this bottle, which makes me nervous. But it is called almond blossom. Now, when I think of almond, I rather think of like roasted almond, like a nuttiness that you would smell on a coffee or chocolate, but also almond extract, which to me actually smells more like pistachio almond extract. And I love that smell. So I just wonder if there's any of the two of those in here. I put a good amount on there, and I can smell this one. Keep in mind, I've now sprayed 5 different sprays. My nose, and I smelled a lot of candles, my nose is getting shot. That by far, I put a lot on here, but that by far is the most intense out of all of these. This is weird. This is weird. To me, all of these, I can't help it. I'm sorry, I can't help it. This is probably not what you guys want. But I'm visualizing different, like, who the woman would be who would wear this cologne. Like, when I'm or perfume, when I'm smelling these fragrance mists, I'm actually, in my head, instead of thinking about what it smells like, I'm like, who would wear this? Molly Ringwald was that Macintyre, the Apple Country. What's really interesting about this one is that it's both very youthful, like very, very young lady, but also very complex, and to me almost appropriate for I gotta think of a different word than mature. An adult woman. How about that? Mature. This is just a terrible thing to say. It's bright. You can't help but think of, I don't know if peony is in here. And again, when I think of peony, I mean, I know what peony smells like, but to me, it's just, it's almost like what is that word? When you smell synesthesia. It's almost like when I smell peony, I see pink, and when I smell this, I smell pink. That doesn't probably help you a lot, but the florals are very pretty. And I think the depth and the strength of the vanilla makes this, it contrasts. It's a big contrast, and makes it more complex. And I think that this is fun. This is really fun for me. I don't usually do, like, these aren't necessarily perfumes. These come in candles, right? No? Maybe? But I like this because to me, I do feel like this could be something that a young lady would wear, or it would feel appropriate for a woman who's young at heart. There's just like a Disney princess to this thing, which I like. It's floral, it's vanilla, really deep vanilla. This is a warm vanilla, and a lot of those floral notes. I would say jasmine, peony. You gotta say something like rose, some kind of rose, because there's a muskiness here. It even smells like a leather musk, which is an interesting point. Like, it smells like a brand new pair of boots. You bring them home in the box, right? You open the box of boots, and you get that beautiful smell of that freshly treated leather, that rawhide leather musk. Definitely feminine. Like, if you are a man and you wear this, hey, no judgment. I've worn, even though I'm not a cologne, I told you I'm not a cologne person, I've worn cologne in the past that was actually made for women, because I just prefer the fragrance. But this, to me, this is very much a a feminine smell to me. It's probably one of my favorite of the bunch, but like I said, florals are a bit hard for me to handle. So it is, I feel it in the sinuses already. Winona Ryder, maybe. I love coming back to the comments after so much time has passed, because I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Winona Ryder. Oh my goodness, you give guys... oh my goodness, do you guys remember Elizabeth Taylor, White Diamonds collection, Blue Sapphires? I don't remember, but I know, because like I said, I'm trying to do... Every now and then I try to catch up a little bit on the timeline of colognes and perfumes. What was popular aromatic profiles for men of different demographics in the 70s and the 80s, early 80s, late 80s, 90s. Like, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can. I just still have a long way to go. In my house growing up, my dad wore Brut by Fabergé. So that was that was really the only cologne, even though it was an aftershave, it was really the only cologne in the house. Nancy says the almond blossom bottle is beautiful. It is a beautiful bottle. It almost is like what I was saying. Like, it's very youthful, like young lady, or a woman who is young at heart. If that makes any sense. You know? Like, this doesn't smell like middle school to me. But I could see probably the largest demographic of women wearing that fragrance. Again, guys, this is not my expertise. But it is fun, because I like this, because this is new for me. So I hope you would enjoy that at some capacity. And I'll try to do more Bath and Body Works content in the future. There's a lot of stuff we didn't get today. We had broken candles. Let's take a look at this. Check it out. It's not 100%, but we melted that wax. Almost completely got rid of the tunnel. I would have to give this one more pass. But most importantly, we mixed the outer rim wax with the middle portion, the core of the candle wax. We mixed it, homogenized it, and after I give this one more pass, this should burn beautifully, like brand new. And it smells lovely. It smells lovely. And the lavender gelato, it's still not pulled out 100% because it's freezing in here, like I said, but it's definitely better than it was. So, like I said, creme brulee torch and a heat gun. Pick them up on Amazon. I wish I had affiliate links in the description below. Those of you who are celebrating Memorial Day weekend, I just want to talk a little bit about this real quick. I hope everyone is utilizing the time, enjoying the early stages of the summer, spending time with family and friends, or, if you're not with family and friends, I hope that you're at least have a chance to relax, to kick back, pop on a movie, make dinner. And God forbid if you're working, I know a lot of you work in hospitality, are probably working all hours of the day and night. I just hope at some point you get to relax and enjoy yourself. And for, this is something I never talk about, but, for those of you who have served your country. I'm going to speak directly to the United States here. I hope that's okay. But if you've served your country at any capacity, if you have family who are veterans, fathers, grandfathers, whether they saw battle or not. Memorial Day should be a very family-friendly, happy, positive holiday. But to me, this Memorial Day is extra profound. I haven't really said this publicly yet, but I lost my father this year. My father was in the Navy during the Vietnam War, and unfortunately, he was among the portion of people who really did see a lot of bad stuff, and it really affected him his entire life. And as a kid, I just didn't understand it. As an adult, I didn't understand it. But because I lost him this year, he's always been on my mind, and I've been doing a lot of soul searching and reading about what some of the things that he went through. A lot of his siblings have told me stories, and I just have so much patriotism in this moment. Not because of anything specifically that's going on in the world, but just knowing that there's people out there who are brave, like my father was. That I can't go on a baseball field without having a panic attack. I don't know how these young men and ladies, I just don't know how they do it. But if you are one of them, or if they are in your family, please spend some time and reflect on that. If my dad were here, I would love to, just tell him, maybe not thank you. That wouldn't mean anything. He had to know my dad. My dad was kind of like John Wayne. A thank you wouldn't work. But, I would find some way to express myself where I would make sure he understood and knew how proud I am of him, and how grateful I am for his sacrifice, and what he had to spend the rest of his life living with. So Memorial Day, fun weekend, tons of great food, but take a little bit of time and reflect on yourself or members of your family and friends, and maybe reach out to someone who maybe had an experience like my father, who was any traumatic experience, and in your own way, make sure maybe you just let them know that you appreciate again their sacrifice. It's the perfect word, sacrifice. With that said, go out. If it's not raining, get that grill going, fire up some burgers, some hot dogs. Leave me comments in the comment below if you have any questions. Like always, I haven't been doing a great job at following you guys chatting, but I hope you guys had a good chat during this live stream. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I will be seeing you guys soon. We got to start doing more spontaneous lives, not just on Sundays, but more spontaneous lives. So we'll work on that. But until then, everyone be good, have a wonderful weekend, and I will be seeing you soon. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Truly appreciate it. Have a good one. How do I end the stream? This is a different process. Uh-oh. I used to just hit the button on the phone. There's the button. End the stream. There it is. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.